time you should be married. Now, how does this affect mental health? When you are married, you are two. The burden has lessened. At that age, you don't, I mean, at that point in time, you don't have to say, mommy called you and is asking you, oh baby, how are you now? Your friends are getting married. I went for so and so person's wedding. That has actually, you know, it has gone down. Like, everybody's happy you are with a man. And now, you in this marriage as a woman, if you are lucky and God help you, you are in a good marriage, your state of mental well-being will be super.
That is when we are talking about a positive.
Yes.
All right.
Because you are two. Or maybe you went out today, sort of you had an encounter with somebody outside and you are fuming like, oh, somebody do something like this to me, I don't like it, and all that and all that. Then you get to the house. Babe, can you imagine what happened to me? Companionship. One good thing that helps mental health. When you are in a good marriage, you have good companionship. My sister, your stress level has gone down 50%. What about sex? It is an established fact that sex is what? Is stress reliever. In fact, it is one of the greatest drug in marriage. Because when you have sex with someone you love. You are free with this person. You are naked before this individual and you are not ashamed. Do you get it? When you go through the process of sex, there you are in the height of ecstasy. And when the guy came, your husband came, you also come. Everybody is fine.
Amazing.
And that's what? It drops your another stress reliever. And that is good mental health. Now let's talk about finance. Financially, finance affects our mental health. Seriously? Yes. Have you noticed that when you don't have money, you are cranky? You are just, especially when you don't have hope of getting it, like at that time, you are so helpless and you are so perplexed. How am I going to get this? But with that joy of having somebody that can actually say, babe, calm down. How much is the money? How much is money? My sister. Do you understand? Yeah. And you're like, okay, no wala. It's just 5,000 naira. Oh. It's just 1,000,000 naira. It's just this. You have a sound sleep. I feel like placing a demand already. Please. Remember the economy is so nice right now. All right. So, these are the things we are talking about. Now let us go to the negative. It is something we don't want to really delve in. But that is reality on ground. Okay, how does this affect people negatively? You have more burden. But the good thing is you have somebody to share it with. When children start to come, for somebody like me, I'm grateful to God for the kind of companion I have. With my children, my husband can always help out. Do you understand? But when you are in a marriage where it seems that maybe it's one person, let me not be partial now, because there's some marriages that the men are doing much more than the women. When only one spouse is actually doing the most of the job, it becomes a stress. Do you understand? But at the same time, it can be chores. It can be the finance aspect. But when it's equally shared, my sister, you realize that your mental health is stable.
Okay, so before I ask this particular question, let me come here. Talking about the negative parts, there are some homes, financially, they are stable.
Yes.
Of course, the love is there.
Okay.
Getting married to an understanding partner, amazing. They have it.
Okay.
But despite all of this, they still have a kind of mental stress that it has to land them in the hospital that someone cannot possibly explain.
There's an explanation for it.
that only them can explain.
Yes.
Okay, so let me come here now. Now, what are the common mental health challenge faced by the married people?
Married people, you've said it. Finance, especially in Africa, finance is something that is so strong, especially if maybe there was no clear-cut, agreement at the initial time, especially during the relationship stage. Okay, a situation whereby a man feels that it should be 50-50.
Okay.
And a woman feels, now how can it be 50? I was sitting on my own and you said, okay, come and join me. Do you understand? It can become a very big stress for the man, which can actually affect the mental health of this man. And you know, a situation where the man has to struggle, or maybe the wife now in this instance has big eye, like he wants the best, he wants to have the most flashy things around, which the husband in question cannot afford.
Okay.
It becomes a big issue, and they might have some. This can develop into high blood pressure, cardiovascular diseases, and all that. Do you get? So these are things that affect people. Now let's talk about domestic violence.
Okay.
Which has plagued our society in recent times.
Seriously.
So a situation where everything seems all rosy, but there is emotional abuse from one of the spouse. Do you know that in Africa, especially for let me be on the male side this time around, because we are always talking about the women when we are talking about domestic violence. But let's talk about the men. Somehow the men are not, they talk less, and they don't like projecting their problems, so that we don't see them as being weak. So some men don't have the peace that they envisaged in their homes. They keep it to themselves. Even when they are at work, they are not concentrating. The mental health has been tampered with. Productivity has been affected one way or the other. Time they are supposed to use to, project into their businesses or their work and let the best come out of them. The best cannot come out because the man in question is under pressure. Do you get what I'm saying? So these are many more have affected so many marriages. It has plagued our marriages. What about religion? A place where people don't like talking about. It has placed, somehow the religion has placed some kind of bro code, so to speak, in marriages. When you're supposed to seek help from a therapist, a counselor, you go to your pastor who is actually abusing his or her, his wife, or his wife, yes, or her husband in the home. Does he know better? Does she know better? But you run to them, oh pastor, what kind of advice do you get from such person? What kind of counsel will the person give to you? These are things. Then childbearing. It's another thing. See, I realized that in marriage, when it's just the two of you, it's sweeter. And it's less burden. Wow. You don't have much to think about, just me and my husband. Hey, baby, I have, I saw a cloth that I love. I don't know, oh, babe, let's go and pick it up. But when children start coming in, you remember, babe, oh, you saw those, the clothes, so wonderful. My guy, the school called me today. You remember you have school fees to pay? Then you have in-laws to take care of. You have a lot of family functions to attend to. This has dealt with our mental health. But still, it doesn't take away the fact that marriage is sweet when you are with the right person.
Wow. Wow, wow. Okay, now that we know, according to you, that, of course, marriage can actually contribute to stress and anxiety in marriage, and, of course, it can also be as a serious supportive system to our mental health. do you think, I mean, will you still, what about those people that are already, that have this mental disorder already? And then someone will be like, when they get into their marriage, they will be okay, having known that not that marriage is not sweet, like you have said, but the thing is, the sweeter it becomes, the more responsibility comes in.
Yes.
And that has a way of affecting the health, the mental health, I mean to say. So what happened to those people? What do you do to them before they enter? Because I came in contact with one lady, like, psychologically, she wasn't stable. She couldn't reason well, even up till now, all right? But they were like, the moment she entered the marriage, when she gives birth, that everything will reset. I just have to bring this in because you are a psychologist. So enlighten us on that.
Thank you. Marriage is not a psychiatrist's it is not. It was never, and it can never be. It's only a support system. If such issue happened in the marriage, if the woman or the man in question had issue mentally before marriage, let it be dealt with before delving into marriage. It's like someone who has a small sore. Do you understand? And you know, they say, don't worry, by the time you go to the bush and get some leaves together,
you'll be okay.
You will be okay. Only for you to get to the bush and realize there are thorns in the bush that you have to, you know, wade through before you get to where you are going to. Ma, what happens to that sore? It will get wider. You see, psychologically, our state of health should be stable before going into marriage. Are you ready? Like, for instance, okay, let me give myself as an instance. I didn't marry very early. You get? So at some point, I was asking myself in my 20s, like, even if I get married now, with what I'm seeing happening around me, I've seen good marriages, I've seen bad marriages, I've seen one that are just on the average, everybody's managing themselves just because of the children and all that. But which one do I really crave for? And when I crave for this pressure I'm seeing in this marriage, can I withstand it? Those were the questions I set myself to ask myself. And do you know what? When I was actually ready for marriage, I told myself that, Ayobami, you're actually ready to be married. Because I've dealt with some issues. One was anger. Okay? Because you are an angry person and you want to marry a man or you want to marry a woman. Someone that will just intentionally make you angry. What happens? You just find yourself in prison.
So those people that said, okay, I love this guy, he's cute, he's godly, and that and that and that. So I don't care about the anger issue. I know that I'm going to change him. That means nobody can actually, marriage cannot change one.
No, it cannot.
And marriage can't either.
Self-determination, like, this is who I want to become. I want to be a good person. I want to exude positive energy. And you work, as in you take a decision to do better for yourself. That is where we come in with the issue of self-esteem, self-awareness, self-love. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because when you are alone, the pressure is not still much.
Wow.
Do you understand? You don't have financial obligations as such. It's just me and me. The only problem maybe you're having is that, TikTok, my biological time, age is not on my side and all that. But this time around, you have extra person in your space that can be intentional, as in to make you hungry. Even you can make your husband hungry sometimes.
Exactly.
Because you just want to get some, babe, why will you do that and all that and all that? Say, sorry, and you give that baby face and all that. Just because you want to get him to, like, let me just see this other side. It's been a while I saw it. Do you understand? But when you now have somebody who is actually, a pressure pot.
Oh, glory.
Please work on yourself first.
Before saying
Before
yes.
saying yes.
I do.
It is time for marriage.
All right, you are watching Wedding Banter on Atlantic Television Network. We'll just go on a very short break. Don't go nowhere. We are coming back soon.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Wedding Banter on Atlantic Television Network. And before we went on the break, we were actually dealing with the issue of wedding, marriage, and mental health. And I have a guest here, a therapist in the house has really dealt with these issues. And of course, we are still here to talk about it. But before we proceed, I would like to know, what role does communication play in maintaining good mental health in marriage? What role does it play? Does it have any role? Can it actually change anything in marriage?
Yes.
Okay.
Communication is the key thing. If there's anyone like the keyest, it's one of the most important things in marriage. Do you talk to each other when you are going through some stress? Let me give you myself as an example. There was a time I was beginning to have this feeling of unfulfillment. Like I am not where I'm supposed to be. What am I doing here? What am I not doing right? And unfortunately, I will go online, watch some of my friend reels, watch their videos, see how far they've grown over the years, and I'm asking myself, it seems I'm not doing something right. Why is it that somebody has this kind of money and I'm just still here on the average? I was asking myself so many questions, and it was beginning to have issues. Consequences on my own health. I will go online, nobody send me. I will just go and be looking at what I'm not supposed to look at. Then pressure now, my people will say pressure tiwa. I was not pressurizing myself. I wanted to do more. Thank God I have a man that I know I cannot pressure my husband, because he will come to you and tell you, calm down. So one night, I was now saying, why am I stressing myself when I can say this out? Problem shared is half solved. My husband and I, we talk a lot. We talk about everything, even the littlest of things. But I kept that to myself, because somehow I don't want to hurt him. I don't want him to feel like he's not doing enough.
Okay.
Do you get? But somehow I just had that note that you just have to talk before I'll start to contemplate what I'm not supposed to. Then I told my husband, see what I'm going through lately. And then my husband was now counting my blessings for me.
Okay.
As he was counting my blessings for me, I realized that I'm blessed. Why am I stressing myself? So communication is very key. It helps your mental health, because when you can share your issues with someone and the person comes forward with a solution, even if not a solution, it's a gesture that can help you. An idea that will, both of you can actually come together and, make that thing look like, it's not actually a big deal. Then you have this peace in you. So communication is of utmost importance in marriage to maintain your mental health. When you are not having something that you're supposed to get, talk about it. My darling, I realize that lately we are not having enough conversation about so and so thing. It's like we are hiding so and so. It's not like that. I just felt, no. Let's share it. You realize that all those things that you feel that they were issues, it will just everything will just freeze you out and you feel lighter.
So when you get to a point where, maybe like you said, there is something that you cannot talk about. Some persons who, I don't know if you have ever heard that when you are married, there are some things that your husband should never know about it until the day you enter 6 feet. Have you heard something like that before?
No.
So if you get to that point, you know that you have something in you that is actually affecting you mentally, and then your husband or your partner is suffering from what they do not know about.
Yes.
How do you now come up to talk about this? And if you can't, is it advisable to meet a therapist outside? Is it advisable to go out? But how do you even go out when, what if your partner gets to know about it?
Well, Nigeria is getting better by the day. Way back, if someone says, I want to say psychologist, they think you're mad.
It's been long I heard that. Nigeria is getting better by the day. That is a plus to us.
Yes, because we are getting more enlightened.
Okay.
Do you understand? Not everybody have that feeling that everything is spiritual attack anymore, like it used to be back then. So if you have something, a burden in your heart, that you feel you cannot share with your husband, let me give you one thing I realized, I got to know about lately. It's an anonymous site where you can drop your story and people will give you solutions. Deepest of secrets are being shared on that particular platform and nobody knows who shared it, and they get solution to their problem. It is better you share it than to commit suicide, than to die with it. And you can imagine the level of betrayal it is to your spouse after the death of this person in question. Say, you don't know, your husband has 2 children, no? And you're like, from where to where? How it happen? Do you understand what I'm saying? So it is better, get help, please. That is what I would say. We have psychologists almost everywhere now. We have relationship experts. I don't know how you want to call it. You might have some religious aids that are also good. But when you are doing that, be very circumspect.
Okay, so what are some strategies for couples to maintain a good mental health? Because we have positive and negative. So what are they?
1, communication.
All right.
You have to communicate. Talk about anything.
Whether you like it or not.
Please. It doesn't have to always be sweet.
Okay.
But say it.
What about the one that you know if you put it out there, it has a way of changing the atmosphere for the whole day?
For the whole day. So far, it will not bring up something that's like death or anything. Say it.
But you know that some couples that, should I say home? I don't know. There are some persons that it is better they don't get to hear this thing than to hear. Then when you tell them, if you have that kind of a man or woman, if you have that kind of partner, that there are some bitter truths that you need to air out, and then the moment you do that, it results in, especially the family that come from this violence, domestic violence, and a man that never trusts, that has trust issues.
Move it to your counselor. Yes. At least let it out. When you have it bottled in you, somehow you repressed it to your unconscious. But it will always filter as one way or the other and affect your everyday life living.
I really want to clear this. Now, these issues you're talking about here is something that you know that is affecting your partner either directly or indirectly. And you need to tell your partner about this. And then you know that if you let the cat out of the bag, there's going to be a serious problem. It's going to result in domestic violence. And then, even if you go out there to meet a counselor, they will still tell you, go and tell your husband or your wife. And you know the kind of person you got married to. What do you do at that point?
But you have a way to get each other's memo button.
Okay.
In it. Now, there's a reason why we have WhatsApp. There's a reason why we have telephone, where you can send SMS. You can actually let it out there. It works for me. I will not lie.
Okay.
When I have something that is really pressing and I know that if I come out, my husband can be all defensive, I will type long message like this with all the simplest English so that he will understand what I'm saying. Then when he sees my husband know that there's a problem, he will take his time and digest it. If I show you my phone, when we were at relationship level, there was a time we had this fracas about getting dates and all that that it was actually, I blew it out of proportion. My husband started like a Microsoft Word of like 3 pages. Babe, this is started typing, and I took my time. I read it. He gave me the issue, what we can conclude on, how far I've handled it that he doesn't like, and he thinks I should do it like this and like this. There are more to this communication. We spoke about communication.
And I wonder what happened to those people that are not literate enough.
If they are not literate, there are still ways to communicate this thing. I spoke about a Momo button.
Yeah.
When is a good time for your husband to listen to you?
Meanwhile, what is Momo button for the sake of the viewers?
Momo button means there's this thing that you do that your husband will just let down his guard. Do you understand? He's ready to listen to you. Some people it is sex. Some it is food.
Wow.
Some it could be music. Do you understand? Make use of those. That's the way you people communicate during your relationship stage. Add spice to it. Put Maggi. Put your ginger. Make all the recipe. Let it be sweet. Place your request or tell him whatever it is that you want to talk about. He will listen to you. He might be hungry. But after a while, this man is not stupid. This woman is not stupid. The woman or the man can go on and think about it and all that, but he will still come back. And you can actually meet halfway.
Wow.
Do you understand? Another thing that we said, what are those things that can help with good? It is sex.
Wow.
Which is universal. How often do you have sex with your husband? How often do you have sex with your wife? What are those things you do that will make your wife or husband eager to want to be with you? Is it foreplay? Is it talk? These are the things that you should talk about. So for some person, it is food. Food can give some people food orgasm.
Wow.
Just give them good food and you see the man say, my baby, what do you want? I can give you my life. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And some persons, it's about you displaying the best you can. Maybe you can twerk. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
Try to know each other's way of making each other's happy. It's not, everything is not money.
So in other words, each marriage has their own manual.
Yes, formula.
Some communicate, but most importantly, communication is
universal. It's universal.
Universal. All right, that's beautiful. All right, you've just heard it for yourself. Good mental health in a marriage is the key. You have to look for what works for you, some communication, some sex. Communication is primary, but sex, food, whatever works for you, do it for yourself.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, ma.
Abayomi, am I correct? Ayobami Oduyemi, thank you so much for joining me on today's show. All right, before we go, we'll join Port Harcourt residents and get their own opinion concerning marriage and marital health. All right, and mental health. So we'll just join Port Harcourt residents and get their own opinion concerning this. And when we come back from this short break, it's going to be a deal for today.
Young lady, my name is Engineer Bestman, and it's quite I'll be frank enough to say this in the public. What really causes issues in marriages? I think it's a lack of understanding, and when you're not prepared in going into marriage, I think there are a lot of issues, and when it is not properly handled, I think there will be fighting, quarrel, nagging, and the rest. Lastly, I will say that most times they say women are the ones that builds home. You have to swallow your pride, even though the man is at fault. After some time, perhaps he might come to his real senses and also apologize genuinely. But some men are actually so proud to say I'm sorry to their wives, which I think is not the right thing for any man to do. So, to be candid, peace is good. Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You know, say when I give on something, when I give on better thing, she will have been me, I will have been 12 days I will pay.
Think they make some women that they get peaceful mind. I go talk of my own. Well, since when I get married, my husband never carry hand up. Say he go slap me. But the day when he say he go slap, I say, I better come down. You know, come down. Either you kill me or I kill you. That first time till today at the end there. My husband na soldier. Me, I be soldier. Two of us na soldier. So we retire for Biafra and Nigeria war. So love would depend though. As you keep your husband or as your husband keep you. Some men they carry women there and there. Because of that, some women need to endure and begin follow them they waka up and down. And it's good when they come up for house, man. Keep something for women. For me, my husband they make friend, but my eye, I just leave him. As far as he go waka, come back home, and he go keep something for me. When he go come out. So that love and love depend. When at times to carry your women come out, that thing where you dey see for hotel, your women get them. That thing where you dey find for other women, your wife will get them. Anyhow where you like, do them. You say your wife. They use hand though. You dey turn them upside down. Oh. You say make it like though. Oh, it's love. Love no dey different. No bring katakata where your wife dey. If you bring katapata your wife and you and children no go dey steady. So me I think I'm like that too.
Based on a child of God. The Bible says the wife shall submit to the husband and the husband shall love his wife. So if you can only follow these instructions, you know, the way of God or the ways of God and his principles are just easy to follow and you see the blessings, you know. So if you can just follow, if every couple can follow these simple instructions, I don't think they will ever have a problem. If a man like God's servant Pastor David Ibiome can be at peace, then it is possible for every other marriages to enjoy peace. So what I'm advising or what I'm saying is that follow the instructions, follow God's instructions and enjoy peace. Leave the rest. Submit. Wives should submit to their husbands, and husbands, love your wife. You know, my Papa will always say, if you beat your wife, then the person is a foolish person. Because the Bible says when a man leaves his father and mother, they cling onto one, making them one flesh. So if he's beating his wife, then he's beating himself, making him a madman. Do you understand? So he should love his wife, and the wife should submit to her husband.
A lot of things that could cause that. There are a lot of things that could cause that, you know, ranging from the state of the economy. You know, in a typical home today, there's at least two people, that's the husband and the wife, and then if they have children, that's more mouths to feed, more bodies to clothe, and all those other things. So if there's not enough money coming in, more problem for the house. So, and apart from that, I believe families are supposed to help each other go through tough times. So in some households where there are that connection is not there, that's team work, so to say. That's where one person is there for the other person and they're all there for each other. Where that is lacking, there's a higher chance of mental health issues developing. So I think that's just some of the few that's on my mind right now.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us again. I hope you have a swell time. This is Wedding Banter on Atlantic Television Network. Once again, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome, ma.
You can join us on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X Atlantic TV Net. You can also watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. I am Immaculata Jacob Irikana. Do remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thanks for joining us. Till next week.
expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, from the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara. We bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
When nothing is good enough for you, when nothing except what you want will do, to you it must be worth something or nothing, nothing. In vanity you wallow, except you chase in shadows. You reject what's good for you, accept what you think is good for you. It must be worth something or nothing. You might end up with nothing. Ooh, it must be worth something or nothing. You might end up with nothing. You think you are, you must think you're a superstar, a superstar.
Hello, who's talking?
It's Samantha, baby. Samantha.
What sacrifices are you willing to make?
Oh, come off it. I definitely know my place in her wedding. And it is not me smiling and standing beside some common mechanic and pretending that all is well, when it's obviously not. You know me very well now. And you know that pretense is not one of my greatest assets. It's not.
It's not like I'm pressuring you into marriage. I just want a man I can call my own. I'm not desperate, you know. Yes, I am young, but I am ready to settle down right now. Like this minute, if it like now.
So it's because of ordinary 2,000 naira you want to spoil our business? Chinwe, you call 2,000 naira ordinary, but you're finding it very difficult to give it to me. You could have allowed me to call madam, so I would tell her what you did.
You're a witch.
You're the anointed witch.
Vincent, I just woke up. What do you want?
Okay, I wanted to talk to you about something. It's really important. I've been trying to reach you for a couple of weeks now, and most of the times I come back late from work and you're already in bed. Some other times it's vice versa. But I really want to tell...
Whatever you want to say to me, I don't want to hear it.
It's not that. No. Like I said yesterday, I'm ready to settle down. No, it's not like it's not like I'm pressuring you into marriage. I just want a man I can call my own. I'm not desperate, you know. Yes, I am young, but I am ready to settle down right now. Like this minute, if it like now. What? So you're not ready? Why, Bode? Okay. How old are you? 38.
Arit! This girl. Arit!
And you're still calling yourself a small boy.
Arit!
And you're not ready.
Is it not you that I am calling? There's fire on the mountain. Who are you on the call with? Cut the call at them, Jerry. I'm telling you there's fire on the mountain. You're telling me on the call.
Buddy, please, can I call you back?
Guess what?
What is it?
For the salon where I go make my hair today. Now your matter just the trend. Seriously.
My matter is trend.
Yes, your matter.
Waiting happen.
My dear, your husband is getting married.
I don't get you. Which husband did I marry?
How many husbands do you have now? How many are it?
You mean?
Yes. Yes.
Who told you this?
Sissy was busy broadcasting the news to any and everyone. I mean, anyone who cares to listen.
Sissy!
Yes, Sissy. You need to do something, really, and fast too.